So we're live, Julie.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. It's where we blend spirituality and practicality to help you live a life of purpose and joy. We got people joining us this evening on AskJulieRyanShow.com. Come in through that link, AskJulieRyanShow.com, if you want to have a conversation with me. And we're also going to be taking people from the YouTube live stream chat. On YouTube, we're at Ask Julie Ryan, and we've got Samantha helping us over there. So the gang's all here, and we're looking forward to getting your questions. Prayers, thoughts, lots of hugs going out to the people in California that are affected with the fires. Our son Jonathan and daughter in law Dr. Mal are home. They returned to their home late last week. I guess it was maybe Saturday ish, I think. And their home is okay. The air quality is terrible. People still aren't allowed to go back into their homes because they've got embers that are still flying around. They've got some winds going on. But lots of love and prayers. I am going to put the Kelly family information. Some really dear friends of Jonathan and Mal's lost their home. They have 2 little kids. They lost everything, and they had just moved into their home a week ago. And so it's on all my social media. Ask Julie Ryan on Instagram and on Facebook. So we'll have that up. They've got a GoFundMe page. And if you want to donate, that would be great. I did. Tim and I did. And, it's just something that we feel like we can do to help somebody that's lost everything. So we'll have that up on my Facebook and Instagram page at Ask Julie Ryan. There'll be a link if you want to help the Kelly family. I'm going to be giving away a free class this evening. So you want to stay tuned. Your name may be called if you want to join the drawing. I give away a free session and a free class every month. And you need to subscribe to YouTube, leave a review at YouTube or anywhere you listen to the show, any podcast. We also take from book reviews. We've got 7 books on Amazon. If you just put in Julie Ryan in the book section and leave a review for any of the books, that would be great too. Got the new book, Angel Messages for Your Life's Journey, is available, and getting wonderful comments about that. They're real life stories about serendipitous and angelic things that have happened to people in their lives. So we've got that. So, Chris, let's go ahead and take our first person, see what their question is. You guys know I never know who's calling in, I never know who's joining us on the live stream. They just put it up. I don't even see the dashboards, so I never know who it's going to be. I never know what the question is. I never know what Spirit's going to say, which makes this so fun every week. Okay, here we go. Oh, I forgot to get my glasses out. Let me get my glasses here. All right. I can read it, but it's easier with my glasses. Here we go. All right. Hi, Julie. 4 years of ovarian cancer with a recurrence waiting to start a clinical trial. I'm in pain and could really use your help. Deb from Fort Collins, Colorado. Deb, honey, I am so sorry you're in pain. All right. We are going to get you on the radar here in a second. How this works, to those of you that are joining us for the first time, is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly simply because the body has mass. So I'm going to watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to hook into Deb in Colorado. And then I'm going to have a hologram of her in my mind's eye. And it's going to be as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. Something will be identified. Immediately thereafter, there will be some type of energetic healing that will begin. I want all you guys to picture what I'm describing. And Deb, especially, I want you to picture what I described during the healing, because it's spirit working through me and with me to help you heal yourself. And so when we all picture it, it's like the power of prayer. We're all sending energy to Deb, and it'll help her heal better. The other thing is that I'm really descriptive because that's how the healing integrates into the body. when we have a frame of reference, and it may be something really funny that comes into my head. Spirit has a great sense of humor or whatever, but just picture it. Doesn't matter if you're watching this real time, if you're watching this a year from now, 5 years from now, doesn't matter. Time doesn't exist in the spirit world, so we're all going to be working together. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading out to you, Devin, Colorado. All right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. The other thing is, I don't edit anything that I see because everything's healable, number one. And number two, who am I to edit what Spirit's giving me the information about? I'm just the messenger, I'm the facilitator. So I believe if I'm getting the information, it's for you to hear because knowing the information is going to help you heal your body. Remember, nobody heals anybody else. Think about you get a big cut in your leg and you go to the emergency room. Well, a doctor's going to stitch it up for you, but they're not going to make your skin grow back. You make your own skin grow back. So these healings happen on the energetic level. They're going to integrate into your body. There may be some complementary care needed from regular medical doctors, medical providers. This is all part of the healing equation, the energy healing work that I help with. Okay, so got you. I can see that it looks like it's metastasized. When I see metastasis, what it looks like, Deb, to me is picture a white dairy cow with black splotches on it. The splotches in the body and the hologram that I'm seeing of you in my mind's eye is where the cancer has metastasized. So let's do a lymph cleanse on you. We'll do the full Monty for the cancer healing on you. Lymph cleanse, imagine there's a big vertical oval inside your body, on the front side of your body. All your lymph fluid's going in there. Lymph fluid is an amber color. It's kind of globby. Think of the fluid inside a lava lamp. And there's a hole that's open on the bottom of each of your feet. As that lymph fluid spins, the toxins come out the bottom of your feet. So we're doing a reverse osmosis purification on your lymph fluid. That's how cancer spreads, is through the lymph. Now we're doing an extraction of the lymph nodes that have sequestered toxins. Lymph nodes look like little D3 vitamin capsules to me. When they've sequestered toxins, they can look brown or black inside of them. Those are being sucked out the top of your head, the ones that have sequestered toxins, and you're being sprinkled with stem cell energy. Light amber color gel sparkles, reminds me of Dippity Doo hair gel, which was a thing when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s. And so that's sprinkling on your body. This is going to regenerate new lymph nodes. There's a vortex forming above your head, beneath your feet, on either side of your front and behind, all spinning concurrently. That's going to generate those lymph nodes. In the meantime, we're doing a heavy metal detox. 2 big U-shaped magnets are joined in the middle around your body. They're going up and down your body. They're pulling out metallic particulates. They turn a quarter of a turn till they get, excuse me, all the way around your whole body, which they pull out particulates that look like little pieces of glitter, either sparkly glitter, dull glitter, can look like little strands of metal that look like a piece or a strand out of a steel wool pad. That's what those look like. DNA healing. Let's do that. You have 10 strands of DNA that have come out of an X chromosome. Remember, girls have 2 X's, boys have an X and a Y. A strand of DNA looks like a strip of paper you'd find in an American fortune cookie with a fortune written on it. It's comprised of 4 nucleic acids represented by 4 letters, ATCG. One strand can have 100,000 letters, can have up to 1 billion letters. I'm watching those letters get rearranged, resequenced, if you will. Once it's reconfigured, it snaps back in to the X chromosome. So that's going to get the way that the cells replicate back to a normal recipe. So I hope that helps. And look up Thomas Seyfried, Seyfried, Seyfried at Boston College. Look up his research. Look up the IV vitamin C, high doses. That's amazing research that's happening. And look up a book called Radical Remission. We did a show with Carla Means-Giroux, who's head of the Radical Remission Project, and they found the 10 common denominators of people who have survived cancer and are cancer-free for 10 years or so, and 7 of those commonalities are spiritual. So look up Ask Julie Ryan Radical Remission, and you'll find that, episode, and I think you'll learn a lot on that, so that'll help. So I hope you're feeling better, Deb. Thanks for your question. All righty. If you want to have a conversation with me, join us at AskJulieRyanShow.com. If you're coming in on the YouTube live stream, we're at Ask Julie Ryan. Be sure and subscribe. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe on the YouTube channel, and then we'll let you know when we release a new show, which is a bunch of them a week. We do interviews and then this live show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. And unless I'm out of town or something, or it's Christmas, then I don't do a live show. But most weeks we're doing a live show, which makes it fun. Okay, Chris, who's next? Hi, Lourdes.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Is it Lord or you pronounce it Lourdes?
I pronounce it Lourdes.
Lourdes. Hi, girl.
Yes.
How are you? Where are you?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. How are things there?
It's very nice, but we're supposed to get colder this weekend. So
Oh,
we're
well,
not used to the cold.
it is January. We're just giving you
It
a little
is.
taste of winter.
It
Yeah.
is.
How
Thank
may I
you.
help you?
Well, I have my great grandson will be 2 years old in April, and
Yeah.
he's had lots of problems with his skin. In his head, he has sores that come in with pus. Then they go away for a little bit, and then they come back again. And it seems like every time it's more, and just problems with his whole all of his skin.
Okay. All right.
His
And
name is
his
Noah.
his name's Whoopi?
Noah.
Noah. I thought you said
Yes.
Whoopi. I was gonna say, well, okay, that's a cute nickname. I didn't think it would be his real name, but okay. All right. What I'm gonna do, Lourdes, is I'm gonna connect into you and then from you to Noah. Whoopi Noah. And then I'm gonna ask his permission if I can scan him because I don't ever, invade anybody's privacy, even if they're a newborn, without their permission. So I'm gonna what does he call you? What does he call you?
Well, uh, nothing yet. He's still not
What do you
talking.
call what's your grandma name?
I call him my little angel.
Alright, but what's your grandma name? Does he call you
Oh,
grandma or
abuela,
abuela?
abuela,
Okay. Alright.
abuela.
Okay, here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home Alabama, heading out to you in Austin. Want you to picture what I describe because you're gonna be my helper. Everybody else listening, picture what I'm describing for little
Thank you.
Noah. Okay, got you. Got Noah. Noah, I'm talking to your abuela. She's fun. He's saying, "Isn't she fun?" Yes, she
Oh,
is. She calls you Whoopi on the side. No, I'm kidding. Um, all right, can I scan you and see if we can help your sores on your skin? He said he's giving me yes. He's shaking his head yes. So I'm going in. It's gut related. Lourdes, what does he seem to have stomach pain? Does he seem to have bowel issues or that kind of thing? Yeah, this is stomach. Whenever
yeah.
we've got skin
Wow.
stuff going on, it's always the gut. That's where the cause is, and that's where our immune system is based too, Lourdes. So my guess is there's a good chance he's been on antibiotics and steroids. Is that right?
They gave him that for the sores, but of course it doesn't help.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he has problem with constipation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's because his stomach's his little tummy's so out of whack. So he's got yeast overgrowth, and what I'm watching is I'm watching that get removed. Because when we have yeast overgrowth, we get leaky gut, which just means there's these little separations in the gut. It's completely healable. It doesn't cause any permanent damage. So this is all healable. What you want to do is you want to get him on, get him away from refined foods. Give him, if God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. All right. So give him that, number one. Number two, you're going to want to get him on some nice statin. Nystatin, nice statin. And
Okay.
it's an antifungal, Lourdes. And for little people, it comes in a liquid form. It's a prescription. So you're gonna need to get
Okay.
it from his doctor
Okay.
and tell the doctor that he has an overgrowth of yeast and tell him you want some nice statin for him. That'll clear up his tummy and his skin will clear up once you get the yeast handled. This is
Okay.
completely fixable. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
honey. You are so
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you,
Okay.
Julie.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Thank you.
Alrighty. If you wanna join us and have a conversation, come in through AskJulieRyanShow.com. That's a link, it'll get you right in to Chris's dashboard. If you're coming in on the YouTube live stream, we're at Ask Julie Ryan, and Samantha's over there to help you. Put your question in the chat. If you're coming in on the live stream, put your first name and where you're located. And then I'm limiting it to one question per person, just so we can get as many people on as we can. Remember to stay tuned because I'm going to give away a free class here in a little bit. So, okay, Chris, who's next? Let's see. It's a mystery. Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. I sure can. How are you doing this
Oh,
evening?
I'm absolutely wonderful. How are you?
Good. You have the northern lights behind you. It makes you look magical.
Better than my bedroom.
Yeah. To those that are listening, it's beautiful. She's got the northern lights scene behind her. So, where are you?
In Tennessee, East
Okay,
Tennessee,
whereabouts?
in Knoxville.
Okay,
You're
terrific.
actually where I was. I was born in Birmingham.
Ah, terrific. Well,
Yeah.
wonderful. Knoxville's beautiful. The mountains,
Oh,
Smoky
yes.
Mountains, Great Smoky Mountain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How may I help
Yes.
you?
Well, I have some hip issues, and I was going to see if we
Okay.
could take a look and see what's going on. Too young to
Yeah.
be as bad as I'm walking.
What's going
So I would
on?
just like I just have a lot of pain and a lot of I've been to the doctor. They're saying arthritis and I've lost a bunch of weight to help. That's helped a lot, but I'm still
Okay.
having a lot of issues.
Okay. Both hips, or is one worse than the next?
No,
Yeah,
both
okay.
hips. And I just
Both
lost my
hips.
baby sister last year to she had a
Oh.
hip surgery and she actually passed away because of a bunch of complications, but now I'm freaked out about hip
Oh,
surgery.
God, no wonder. Jeez. I would be
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Mhm.
Well, I know a little bit about the hip and the knee surgeries because 'cause I'm an inventor of surgical devices used in those procedures that some of them have been on the market for 30 years. So I know a little bit
Yes.
about it, and there's bazillions of them done every day, and people don't have any
Mhm.
trouble, and they're up walking, like, 2 hours out of
Yeah.
surgery.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
amazing.
sure it's just a lot of sister problems. It's probably what
Yeah.
my scared issue is.
I'm so sorry about your sister. Have you read Angelic Attendance yet, my book?
No, not
Okay.
yet. I'm going
And
to.
angelic attendants, what happens as we transition, wrong book, Chris, as we transition, let me see if I can
I've
center it.
looked into it a lot because
Yeah.
her loss has made me in the air I'm at now, which has led me to as I found you.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I lost my sister too in 2010, so I
Yeah,
know what that's all about.
yeah.
Angelic attendants, what happens as we transition from this life into the next,
Okay.
go to julieryangift.com,
Mm,
julieryangift.com. There's a
okay.
free digital and audiobook download there.
Okay.
Anybody listening, julieryangift.com. You can also see it on my website, askjulieryan.com. On the homepage, you'll see a link. Anybody listening, same thing with you, Rebecca. Download the audiobook and the digital version, share it with all your family. and everybody who's
Yes,
affected
ma'am.
by your sister's loss. I believe it'll give them some comfort and some
Thank you.
information. Okay, let me hook into you. Here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. It's done. I don't have to go that far. You're about 6 hours
Mhm.
from me. So heading northeast from Birmingham. All right, got you going in. The energy is going to your right hip first, Rebecca. So
Mhm.
I'm going in. I do see arthritis, and I do see that you don't have a whole lot of cartilage in there. So arthritis looks to me like, have you ever seen corrosion on a battery that's expired?
Mhm.
Like in a
Mhm.
flashlight, that white crunchy stuff that gets on there?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
You got that all around the hip joint inside. You got the ball in the socket. And so
Mhm.
what I'm watching is I'm watching that get removed. That's what it looks like in surgery too. When a
Mm.
joint is scoped, it looks like that crunchy white stuff on a battery.
Mm.
So, of course, that's what it looks like to me in my
Mhm.
head when I'm scanning this. So we're cleaning that out. It's like there's a brush in there that's rotating. Imagine like on a drill, like instead of a sander, there's a brush. It is going around your
Oh,
whole
yeah.
hip joint. It is just cleaning all that stuff out. All right. Stem cell energy is getting injected in there. Coolest stuff ever. Will regenerate any body part we need. I'm watching it get injected in there to give you some padding in the short run.
Mm.
Light amber
Thank
colored
you.
gel, sparkles because it's woo woo. Gotta have sparkles. Reminds me of Dippity Doo hair gel. And you can look it up if you don't know what it is. And then there's a vortex spinning outside of your right hip. Let me go over to the left hip. The left hip, it looks bad, but the right hip looks worse to me. Do you find that it's more painful on the right side? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So same thing, clearing that out, injecting stem cell energy in there, give you some more cartilage and vortex spinning outside there. We're gonna do a whole like de-arthritic procedure here on you in a second. But while those stem cells are generating new cartilage for a minute, arthritis comes from the gut 100% of the time.
Mm.
So
Okay.
what I was just mentioning to Lourdes about her grandbaby, stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it, or at least read the
Mhm.
ingredients. If you're gonna eat
Yes,
chips,
ma'am.
there's lots of brands now that it's like potatoes and sea salt and olive oil.
Mhm.
Buy those
Yes.
if you're gonna buy a
Absolutely.
snack.
Mhm.
Same with popcorn. If you have to have those snacks, get them with ingredients that are the least amount and ones you can pronounce, for heaven's sakes,
Yeah.
that aren't
Absolutely.
chemicals. Yeah, yeah. So, low on the food chain, stay away from fermented things, Rebecca. Wine, beer,
Okay.
alcohol, kimchi,
Oh, I
sauerkraut,
don't
yogurt,
drink. Yeah.
vinegar. Don't
Mm-mm.
pickles. Don't eat any of that stuff.
Mm.
Kombucha,
Mm-mm.
sauerkraut, none of that jazz.
Mm-mm.
All right? So that will help. Are you a sugar girl? Do you like sugar?
Mhm.
Yeah. Sugar's the most inflammatory thing that we can eat.
Yeah.
So, stay away from sugar. The thing that helped me stay away from sugar, it's 5.5 years, going on 6 years for me, and I'm a serious
Mhm.
sugar addict, is
Mm.
brain octane oil. You can get
Okay.
it on Amazon, look it up, brain octane oil, and it's liquid. Comes in capsules, comes in liquid. It's gonna help you not crave sugar because the brain
Okay.
operates either through ketones, which that helps you create, or through glucose, which is sugar. So you back off the
Okay.
sugar, you're not gonna have as much inflammation, you're not gonna hurt as much.
Okay.
One last thing we're doing is spirit working through me and with me to help you
Mhm.
heal yourself. Imagine we're taking your skeleton out the top of your head. Think of the
Mhm.
skeletons at Halloween,
Mhm.
those plastic skeletons, the whole
Mhm.
thing was coming
Yes,
out the top of your head.
ma'am.
And in the car wash where they have those big turnstiles with fabric on them, they used to have
Mhm.
brushes on them. Those
Yep.
I see turning, and what it's doing is it's getting all that crunchy arthritis out of all your joints and out of your whole body. We're dipping your whole body into a big vat of stem cell energy, reminds me of one of those dunking tubs that you put a coach on and then
Mhm.
throw a
Oh, yeah.
baseball at them and dunk them in the tub, and then
Mhm.
skeleton going back in your body. There are vortices, Rebecca, spinning above your head, beneath your feet, on either side of your front and behind, all spinning concurrently. That's gonna help a lot. One
Mm.
last question. Is it in Rebecca's interest to get her right hip replaced, to get a new right hip joint? I didn't hear a yes, I heard an absolutely. I heard an
Okay.
absolutely. So, have you been to see the orthopedist?
Yeah, that's what they're wanting to do.
Okay. So, the healing's happened on the energetic level. It's gonna be a breeze for you because it's
Mhm.
already done. Now you just have to go
Okay.
through the physical steps.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I hope you feel
Yeah.
better.
Thank you
Alright.
so much.
Get the book,
Yes,
get
ma'am.
Angelic Attendants and read it.
Thank
It's
you.
gonna help you a lot. Okay. Bye,
Yes, ma'am.
Rebecca.
Alright. Thank you.
Alrighty. AskJulieRyanShow.com if you wanna join us and have a chat. If you're coming in on the YouTube live stream, we're at Ask Julie Ryan. Remember to subscribe. When you subscribe and leave a review, that automatically enters you into a drawing for a free session with me and also a free class. Remember, you can schedule a regular session with me. And also, I have 4 graduates now that are working with me to help people because I'm only one person. I only have so much bandwidth, and we can get you in sooner. We can get you in a lot less expensively. They're all fabulous. They're all graduates of my class. Karen, Johanna, Laura, and Jocelyn. So when you go on my website and you want to talk with one of my grads who are all, again, just fabulous, just click on their picture and then their calendar will show up. And a lot of the times you can get in to see them in the next week. I mean, a lot of times there's no wait. So you can schedule your private appointment with me. I love to talk to you. We have priority appointments. A lot of times you can get in within a day or two with me. Those are more expensive. And then we have my regular appointments. And they're out of ways. But the key with that is get on my calendar and then check your confirmation email periodically on the reschedule button because that will show you earlier dates and times as become available because people reschedule all the time. Sometimes you can get in quickly. I talk to people every week that say, "Oh my gosh, I got in a day." I go, "I know, I tell you." So askjulieryan.com if you want a private appointment with me or with one of my grads. They're fabulous, you guys. You're going to love them. Okay, who's next? Linda. Hi, Linda from Southwest Washington State. Do my guides have any messages for me? Can you be a little more specific? Yeah, they got tons of messages for you. Can you write something in and can Samantha help us with that? Let me talk about guides for a minute. We all have lots of guides. Well, hopefully we're waiting for a more specific question. Um, general questions are great, and we can spend a lot of time on that when I have you or one of my grads has you in a private session. But for the show, give me something specific that we can work with. Um, all of us have spirit guides. When I scan somebody, normally there are 7 spirit guides that follow us around. They're kind of in a horseshoe pattern behind us. They appear to me like versions of Father Time. Think Gandalf in Lord of the Rings and Dumbledore in the Harry Potter movies. Old man, white beard, white hair, that kind of a thing. And then when we talk to them, they morph into what they looked like in the lifetime that pertains. Okay, Linda's saying her financial situation. Okay, so what's going on? What can you recommend to Linda about her financial situation? I'm getting get another job, get a part-time job at least in the short run and do it from home. And I'm hearing that there's lots of jobs available that can supplement your income while you're getting back on your feet financially. What I'm hearing in particular, Linda, is the customer service type jobs for any kind of travel related company, the airlines, the hotels, all of that. also any kind of customer service. So if you go to a job during the day, I'm getting considered doing something maybe on the weekends and maybe in the evenings, but do it from home online to generate more income for you. So I hope that helps. Thanks for your question. Okay, let's see who's next. Lori. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much for our call on Tuesday. I was going to say, I just talked to you, girl. Pain is much better until I did a small hill and hip replacement is in pain. Ugh. Honey, what are you thinking? All right, let's look into you and we'll give you some stem cell energy to give you some padding. Okay. Inflammation, which I can see it, I just hooked into you. Inflammation looks like red fog on body parts, and anti-inflammatory energy is a royal blue color. Put that on, get it calmed down, and putting some stem cell energy in there just to give you some extra padding as you're healing. So take it easy, you wild girl. Just let your body heal. So great to hear from you again. I love it when I get you guys for a whole hour. We cram so much in for an hour. We can talk to your dead grandma. We can scan you energetically, medically. We can talk to your cat. We can help your pet. We can tell how close to death somebody is. We can do past life stuff. We can talk to your spirit guides and angels. Anything from my buffet of psychicness. And my graduates, they all have buffets of psychicness too, because they took my class. So, we can talk about anything and everything. Uh, it doesn't need to be just one topic when we're together for an hour. So askjulieryan.com if you want to schedule an appointment. Okay, who's next? Hi, Jack.
Hey, Julie. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Great. Tell everybody where you are, please.
I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. All right. Well, welcome. How may I help you?
I'm calling for my aunt.
Yes, I
She
remember.
had a bad fall at work and actually broke her neck in 3 different places.
Oh, geez.
And she's now in physical therapy trying to get the use of her hands again, and she can move a little bit, but
Oh, goodness.
anything you can do for her.
Aren't you, sweetie, to be helping your auntie? What's her name, Jack?
Her name is Mary.
Mary. And where is Mary? Does she live in Grand Rapids with you?
She doesn't, but she just got here today at a physical therapy place, so she's in Grand Rapids now.
Okay. All right. She's staying in Grand Rapids while she's doing her physical therapy.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'm going to connect into you and from you to Mary, and I'm going to ask her permission if I can scan her. Does she know we're going to be working on her tonight? Did you prep that?
No, I haven't talked to her.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. Heading straight north, a little bit northwest from me. All right. Got you going to Aunt Mary. Aunt Mary, I'm talking to your favorite nephew, Jack. Isn't he fabulous? Yes, he is. All right. Is it okay if I scan you energetic to help you heal? She said, yeah, anything and everything, bring it on. So, yeah, she's in some pain. All right, let's get that calmed down first. Anti-inflammatory energy is being put on the inflammation, which looks like, as I mentioned, red fog on body parts. And
Mhm.
what we're doing is I'm taking her, again, spirit working through me and with me to help facilitate healing, taking her skeleton out of her body, dipping it into a big vat of stem cell energy, like what we just did with Rebecca, back in her body, vortices spinning above her head, beneath her feet on either side, front and behind, all spinning concurrently. In the meantime, let's do a healing on her neurological system to get her nerves back online.
Okay.
Imagine, Jack, and everybody that's listening or watching, imagine that the neurological system looks like a network of aquarium tubing. And when a nerve is injured, and it's got the diameter of maybe a piece of angel hair pasta. So they're really thin, but they're tubes. So when there's injury to a nerve, it gets gunk inside the tube. That's a medical term I made up, Jack. Gunk, Gunk. But it stands for dead cells and other debris that gets in those tubes. So imagine those tubes are all over her body, and imagine that there are a bunch of little corkscrews that are spinning inside the tubes, and they're grinding up any kind of debris that's in the tubes. All right. And they're multiplying. So there's lots of them that are just grinding through all those tubes. So we've got that. Did she have surgery on her neck?
She had that when it happened. She had surgery. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, I can tell she's had surgery, so I'm gonna come back and work on that. So those tubes are getting cleaned out, and now there's irrigation fluid going through them to get all that ground up gunk out, Jack. And imagine it's coming flying out the end of her toes. Imagine her feet look like sprinklers. That's what this looks like. Remember, spirit has a great sense of humor, and we're supposed to be able to picture this stuff to help it integrate into her body and help us send that healing energy to her. Okay, on the neck where she had the surgery, I'm watching more stem cell energy get injected around her neck. There's a vortex spinning behind that's going to help her neck heal faster. I'm also watching a grid that reminds me, think of a you know what chicken wire is?
Yeah.
Or a tomato cage? I'm watching that get put around her neck kind of as a stabilizer, and it's energetic, obviously, it's a metaphor for what I'm watching, and it goes right into her body, but it's gonna help stabilize her neck while
Okay.
she's healing. It's kinda like absorbable sutures they put in, and then they just disintegrate once they're inside the body after they do their job, same kinda thing. So, I hope that helps her heal quickly, and I hope that helps her pain level.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Thanks for calling in. AskJulieRyanShow.com if you wanna join us for a conversation. We're at Ask Julie Ryan on the live stream on the YouTube channel, which we're taking questions from both. If you're joining us on the YouTube channel, you can put your question in the chat. Please put your first name and where you're located, and we're taking some of those questions as well. And AskJulieRyanShow.com. Remember to subscribe. All right. I'm gonna take another call or so, and then we'll announce the winner of the free class after that. So let's see who's next. Always fun. Hi, Pia. How are you, my girl?
I woke up. Yeah, it's in the middle of the night here.
I know. Tell everybody where you are, please.
I'm in Sweden.
She's in Sweden. All right. How may I help you? Thank you for being up in the middle of the night to join us.
It's one of my sons.
Yeah.
He's been on antidepressants for 12 years now.
Okay.
And he's been trying to cut down on them.
Yeah.
Because I think, now he doesn't know that I'm contacting him.
Okay.
I think it's because he's bipolar and the doctor wants to change his medication. But he can't, he's miserable. He doesn't sleep. He's yeah. He can't sleep. And he gets nightmares when he tries getting off this, the antidepressants. So my question is, can you help him?
What's his first name, Pia?
Michael.
Michael.
We call him Mika.
Mika. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to connect into you and from you to Mika. And then I'm going to ask his permission if I can scan him. I never, I don't scan anybody without their permission because I think it's an invasion of their privacy. It's an ethical thing with me. I could, but I won't. So I'm going to ask his permission. If he says yes, I will. If he says no, I won't. But we can still talk to his spirit. And the reason I do it that way, Pia, is because I figure his spirit's going to tell us what it wants us to know. And it's not like we're looking inside his brain x-ray without his permission, kind of a thing. So that's where I draw the line. All right, here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading over to you in Sweden. What time is it there? Is it you're about 6
It's
hours or 7 hours?
2:40.
2:40. God love you. All right. So I got you. Okay, Mika, I'm talking to your mom. Is it okay if I scan you energetically? He said, I don't think so. Right like that. I don't think so. Okay. So that's fine. Let's talk to his spirit. There's a couple of things that you can do to help him. Uh, and let's see if he would be amenable to this. First of all, there's a guy who's head of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School and Medical Center here in Boston, in America, Pia. And he treats the sickest of the sick patients from a mental, situation. His name is Chris Palmer, Dr. Chris Palmer. He has found that only 10% of his patients are responding to medication, only 10%. But the other 90% respond to diet, in particular, a ketogenic diet, very low carbohydrates. And he talks about how his patients can get off their medication. Some of them have been on disability for decades. He gets them back to work. He gets them back functioning with their families. And then I'm using air quotes, normal society. And it's all with diet. So you may want to look up Dr. Chris Palmer. It's Chris Palmer, MD, Harvard, and you'll find a bunch of interviews of him and you'll find his books. I subscribe to his newsletter. It's super informative. That's number one. The other doctor that I'm going to suggest, and we're going to have her on the show here soon in the next month or two, her name's Kelly Brogan, Brogan. Dr. Kelly Brogan. I believe she's an MD and a PhD, and she specializes in helping patients, primarily women, but it would be a similar protocol, I would think. We'll talk to her about it when she's on the show, but you'll get some golden nuggets out of her information. She helps women get off antidepressants and wean themselves. That's the thing that people don't tell you. We've had Dr. Amen, the psychiatrist, on the show, and he says that that's the thing that they don't tell you when they put you on the antidepressants is it's really hard to come off of them. And that's what Mika is experiencing. So I would look up those two doctors' names. Dr. Daniel Amen is another one, Amen, like amen, hallelujah, at the end of a prayer. It's spelled that way, Amen. And I would look up their information about depression and about getting off the antidepressant medicines. And you're going to find a lot of information that will help. But the first thing that came into my head, Pia, was diet. How is Mika's diet? Does he eat healthy?
No,
No.
no.
Is he eating a lot of carbs primarily?
Probably.
Yeah.
He has two small children, so he's
Yeah. So, well, good. They need to be eating healthy too. So
yeah.
when they crave the refined carbs, it gives them a dopamine hit. It's like all of us. We eat cookies and it makes us feel better, for a short period of time until we have the sugar crash. But he's getting the dopamine hit. But what it's doing is it's propelling his brain not working right. And so that'll help. But I would look up those three doctors and you'll get a bunch of information that you'll find helpful. So
Okay.
good luck. God bless you. It's so hard to see our babies in suffering, isn't it? So hard, no matter how old they are. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. You go back to bed, honey. Sweet dreams.
I love you.
I love you
Bye.
back. Bye, Pia. Oh, gosh. All right. AskJulieRyanShow.com. if you want to join us for a conversation, and we're at Ask Julie Ryan on the YouTube live stream. Subscribe. Remember to subscribe. Then you're entered into a free session. Chris, do you have your drum roll ready? Should we do let's do the He loves doing that, you guys. Before we started recording, he was practicing with his button. And he added the symbol thing, right? Do you love it? I think it's hilarious. All right, Chris. See, I told you. He's like we've created a monster here with the symbols. Okay, this is from Tina Marie Wilson. Tina Marie Wilson, you are the winner of a free Angels and Enlightenment training from me, valued at $300. And here's what Tina Marie said. This podcast, talking about the Ask Julie Ryan show, this podcast is incredibly comforting. So grab a cup of tea and cozy up with your new friend who asks all the right questions. Julie Ryan has an unlimited energy for this intuitive work. Thank you, Julie, for connecting with all of us. Okay, girl, Tina Marie Wilson. Send me a note, askjulieryan.com. Go to my website. You'll see a button that says Ask Julie. Send us a note. Say, hey, I'm Tina. I won the free class. And my assistant, Rachel, will help you and we will get you all set up. And you're going to love it. Angels and Enlightenment training. It's online. It's self-paced. It's a couple of hours worth of tutorial. And then the key, you guys, is we have practice sessions, multiple ones a week that are live with people who have taken the class. And that's when you practice. And that's when you get really good at communicating with spirit. You got to practice. It's kind of like when you're learning to drive a car. You can watch a movie, you can read a book, you can watch somebody else do it. But until you're behind the wheel and you're doing it yourself, you don't really get it. This is the key. All my trainings have practice groups. They are the key. And plus, they're a blast. So, Tina Marie, send me a note. We'll get you all set up. Anybody else that wants to join Tina Marie in the drawing? Just subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment on YouTube or anywhere you listen to the show on any podcast, and you will be entered into the drawing for a free session. We'll do that next in a couple of weeks. And then a free, a free drawing. Also, I give away a free session and a couple of free classes on my Ask Julie Ryan live each month. And it's the fourth Tuesday of the month. I think it's the 20. I got to look on my calendar. I think it's the 27th. Chris, we got somebody that's audio's on. If you could help us with that, please. Okay. So, yeah, it's the 28th. It's January 28th. So the last Tuesday of the month. And just go to askjulieryan.com/live. And we do it for 2 hours. It's a blast. And I answer people's questions. People join us from all over. And I give away all kinds of free prizes, which is so much fun. It's a little more relaxed, a little slower paced. And it's kind of like a pajama party. We all get together and have a ball. So join us for that too. AskJulieRyan.com/live on January 28th. Did I say 28th? Is 28th or 29th? 28th. January 28th, Tuesday. Sorry, blonde moment. Okay, Chris, let's see who's next. Sarah. Hi, Julie. Sarah from North Carolina. Loving all your podcast episodes. Thank you so much. We work really hard on them, my whole team and I. Can you take a look at my husband, Jim? He gets bad neck headaches. Would love to know what's going on. Any messages from Spirit? Thank you. Okay, Sarah from North Carolina. Here we go. Comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. That is not very far. So here we go. All right, got you. Going from you to Jim. I watch a laser beam go from Sarah over to Jim. And then I have a hologram of him in my mind's eye. I'm shooting energy through him. Jim, I got your permission, right? Yes. He's saying yes. Okay, good. I guess I must have known that, but I always ask. What's going on? I'm watching an energetic chiropractic adjustment on his neck. He's a bit of a twisted mister. All right, so I watched that, if you don't see a chiropractor, if he doesn't, I would get him to one. That's the first thing. When I watched his neck get adjusted, I then watched his whole back get adjusted, his hips. He's a bit twisted. His pelvis is the left side is a little in front of the right side, Sarah. So I watched that get put back in place. I watched both sides of his neck get adjusted. I'm watching the neck get pulled up almost like an immediate traction. You know, when if you pull up on somebody's neck, like you put the back of your hands, you know, on the back of their head and then you pull up. That's what I'm watching. Try that. I'm not it just looks like it's irritated, looks out of its alignment. It looks like it's out of alignment. I'm not seeing bulging discs or anything. He's just twisted. So hopefully that'll help. Ask around, ask your family and friends who has a chiropractor that they like, that they've gone to for a long time, and would they recommend that you check them out. And chiropractors, if you find one that you like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. You know, you can be in pain and walk out 5 minutes later and you have no pain. It's amazing what they can do. So give that a try. Thanks, Sarah. All right, AskJulieRyanShow.com. Join us that way or Ask Julie Ryan on the YouTube live stream. Let's see who's next. Got time for a few more questions. Hi, Joan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm lovely. How are you, my dear?
I'm great. I'm here in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay,
And
terrific.
and I hope you're not sick of doing joint injuries. I've got chronic pain in my left hip that's now migrated down to my knee. I finally saw the doctor and she said I'm bone on the hip.
Ugh.
But she said it's not bad enough yet to do surgery. And I told
Yeah.
her, so anyhow.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I guess I'll have to wait until the aliens come and teach us how to regrow cartilage. But then I thought, no, I can
Well,
just ask Julie Ryan.
you can ask Julie Ryan. And you know what? That makes me nuts when the doctors say that. Well, it's got to be really, really bad before we do the surgery. Listen, go get a different opinion from another doctor. I'm going to get you on my radar. There is no reason to suffer because these
Okay.
procedures are so wonderful now for the hips and the knees and the shoulders. You know, I've been in that business. I started in that business 40 years ago. And my God, the procedures they do now for the hips are easier than the knees. They do them outpatient. They
Wow,
get you up
yeah.
walking 2 hours post-op, and everybody I know that's had their knees and their hips done, everybody says, "I wish I would have done it 10 years sooner," including my husband that's had both of his knees replaced. So, okay, here we go. I'm gonna hook into you in St. Paul. Got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. All right. I always follow where the energy goes first. And the energy, Joan, is going to your right hip first. Is that the one that's hurting or is that the one doing the heavy lifting?
It must be the one doing the heavy lifting.
Okay. All right. Sometimes it goes there first. So we're
Okay.
going to work on that one first and then we'll go to the left one. So the right one, what I'm watching is I'm watching it get stretched. Imagine all the muscles and the ligaments and all that jazz. I'm watching it get stretched out. So it's just tight because it's working overtime because your gait is off because of the pain on the left side, most likely. So let me see what's going on with that. That one, I'm watching a little bit of stem cell energy get injected around that joint. And when I see it get injected into a joint, Joan, which is my late sister's name, so you're special to me right off the bat, it looks like one of those great big needles and syringes that they use at the orthopedist office to put the anti-inflammatories in there. That's what it looks like to me. So got that going on. There's a vortex spinning outside of your right hip. That's going to just help your right hip be working properly to help pick up the slack. Okay, let me go in the left hip. Yeah, your left hip needs to be replaced. The ball in the socket, the front part of the ball is starting to disintegrate. It's like it's getting worn down. So I'm watching stem cell energy, light amber colored gel, sparkles, dippity doo. I'm watching that get packed onto the ball, kind of like if you had putty and you were going to pack it and build that ball in the joint back up. That's what
Okay.
I'm watching happen, and I'm watching stem cell energy get in there. You've got arthritis in there too, that white crunchy stuff that I was talking about with Rebecca earlier. Looks like battery corrosion. So clearing that out and stem cell energy being injected into there. So that'll help for you and Rebecca both. And anybody that's ever looking at a joint replacement, the most important thing to remember, Joan, is find a surgeon who's going to line up the implant robotically. All right.
Okay.
They don't have to do the surgery with robotics, but you want to get them to line up the implant robotically. People that do that, the patients that do that, recover in half the time.
Wow.
Okay, that's number one. So remember that you want to ask if you're talking to a surgeon, and I would get a second opinion. But when you call to make your appointment, ask the receptionist, does Dr. Schmo line up the joint with robotics? And they'll know. They'll tell you yes or no. And if they don't, ask to talk to their nurse. That's number one. Number two, there's a device called Game Ready, GAME Ready. It's an ice and pressure machine that you can rent
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first week post-op. It's what every athletic complex, the big high school programs, all the college programs, all the pro programs have those. And you put ice in it and some water, and the cold water goes through this tube into this mat thing that you put on your body, and it adds pressure and cold. We were told to get that for Tim, my husband. Worked great. Worked great. And I'm a crazy entrepreneur. So of course I had to tweak it a little. So here's what I did, just as a little tidbit of helpful information. You're supposed to put ice in the cavern and then put water in it. Well, I bought a bunch of those small water bottles, the plastic water bottles, and I froze 12 of them. And then what I did was 6 of them would fit into the compartment where you're supposed to put the ice, and then I put the water in, and so the water was running over these frozen water bottles, and then it lasted about 12 hours, and then I'd switch them out because I had another 6 bottles in the freezer. So I put the ones that had defrosted back in the freezer, and I took the frozen ones out of the freezer and put it back in the device, and it worked great, and it was so much less mess and so much easier. So, game ready. Be sure that you have the surgeon line up the joint with robotics.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my late husband had both knees done, and he was able to go back to skiing and hiking
I
and
know.
biking. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And post-op, a lot of the time, the people will say, I don't know about your husband, but mine said, and I've heard this a whole bunch of times from people that have had joints replaced, they say there's less pain post-op from the surgery than there was before I had the surgery done. So they've made amazing advancements in those procedures, and there's no reason for you to be suffering like that. I would get a
And
different
will that
opinion.
take care of the pain has migrated down to my knee? Is that just because the hip's out of joint or out
Yeah,
of?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So thanks for reminding me on that. What I just did was I did a chiropractic adjustment on your knee because your knee's like a little twisted. It's out of kilter because you're favoring that hip. And then I put some anti-inflammatory energy on that. It looks
Thank you.
okay. Your knee joint looks okay. It's way more on your hip. You know what? Well, I got you too. Let's just take your skeleton out of your body and we'll dip you into a big vat of stem cell energy just to regenerate bone. So think of Halloween, the skeletons coming out the top of the body, one of those plastic skeletons being dipped into a big vat of stem cell energy. All right, coming back in, going back in your body. Vortices above your head, beneath your feet, on either side, front and behind, all spinning concurrently. And that's going to help you. You got a little bit of bone loss going on, girl. You got some osteopenia going on.
It's full
Is that
osteoporosis, but I'm taking Algical for it, which is
okay?
and the
Okay.
guarantee in 6 months it'll build bone.
Okay, so I'm seeing osteopenia more than osteoporosis at this point.
Great.
Osteopenia, and that's with that stem cell energy. That's why Spirit led me to do the dip of the dippity-doo with you on your whole skeleton. But osteopenia looks like divots in the bone. Osteoporosis looks like holes in the bone. Think of sea coral with holes in it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what that looks like. So that's all filled up. The other thing that can help a lot, Joan, is Beam Minerals.
Yeah.
BEAM minerals.com. Use Julie Ryan, all one word, at checkout, and that's going to help you regenerate bone too. Because most of us walk around with about 40% of the minerals that we need to be healthy. It's liquid. It doesn't have any flavor. It tastes like water. You're going to notice a huge difference when you start
Fabulous.
using that. Yeah. So beamminerals.com, Julie Ryan, all one word, at checkout. You'll get 20% off.
Thank you.
Okay.
And that
Hope you
was a
feel
good
better.
blood test too.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know how you're doing.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling. All righty, everybody. What a treat to be with all y'all, that's what they say down here, this week on the Ask Julie Ryan show. I want you all to root for the Ohio State Buckeyes on Monday night. They're in the national championship against Notre Dame. But, you know, I am a graduate of the Ohio State University. So want you to help me get my team across the finish line and be the national champs. In the meantime, sending you lots of love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah! We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. To enhance your spiritual journey, click on one of the videos below and remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and share with your family and friends.